Nishant Minj, and my channel name is Minj Bytes. So basically, in this class today, I'm going to use WordPress. That is one kind of CMS software. Okay, WordPress is nothing, one kind of CMS software. So based on that, we are going to install on top of the Ubuntu machines. Okay, so I'm going to discuss how exactly we can do that in upcoming lecture. I will be doing lots of activity with the CMS softwares. So it could be a BCP continuity plan, or it could be some troubleshooting related things. Okay, we will be using Jenkins pipeline, so many things. I just wanted to clear the basic idea how exactly that we are going to find this approach in order to make it practical. Okay, so Ubuntu, Ubuntu installation. Sorry, just a second. Nginx installation, Nginx installation, MySQL, WordPress on top of Ubuntu, on top of Ubuntu. So first we will require this one Nginx, that is one kind of web server. Okay, and MySQL is nothing, it's a DB server. Okay, and WordPress is nothing, it's a CMS software. As you can see, here is three component. Okay, so in that as of now in this lecture, that I'm going to install everything in a single server, but in real time use cases, I'm going to use Nginx in one Ubuntu server and MySQL in different operating system, and PHP my admin would be in the same Linux server where Nginx is installed. So basically we'll be having the two server, one is for the web server and another is for the database server. So in this class approach that I'm going to do, I'm going to install everything. Okay, and in the second lecture I'm going to do some troubleshooting so that you can find out how exactly that can be done in the very simple and easy manner. So our requirement, what kind of requirement that we have? So what kind of requirement we have? So requirement, in order to do that, let me change the color. Mhm. Requirement. It is not changing. Okay, whatsoever. Let's go ahead with our approach. Okay, so first a requirement will be Nginx server. Nginx. We are going to install this one. So this is the actual web server. It's actual web server. And second, MySQL. So MySQL is a database that store the content. Database that stores the content of your second. of your WordPress site. And third, PHP. Like we know that uh, any software runs on certain things. Suppose if you have a Java application, yes, Java needs to be installed in that operating systems, right? Suppose if you're working with Python, so Python needs to be installed in that operating system. If you're working with the .NET application, yes, .NET should be installed in that operating system, then only that particular program can be run. So in the same scenario, so for the WordPress is made on PHP, so that kind of dependencies and software modules that needs to be installed in the same operating system where we are going to install the WordPress. So first web server will come, and then we'll download the WordPress content. One has a database and one has a content like .php files it will be having. So one .php file will be residing inside the Nginx server. That will be a whole piece of code that will get inside the Nginx server, and the database related thing will goes into the MySQL database. Okay, and PHP is a kind of library that we are going to use. So WordPress, as we know that it is going to use those library in order to function. Okay, this is a scripting language, you can say. Scripting languages, language basically that enables dynamic elements, that enables dynamic element. Okay, and WordPress, as we know that the WordPress is a software. Fourth is a WordPress. We are going to download from open source. CMS stand for content management. Content management system. What does it mean? So how exactly your website is going to look? Okay, how exactly you are going to manage your content? So there are two ways, like you can update the code or you can use the graphical interface. So basically WordPress provides the graphical interface in order to build the website. Okay, so that we are going to use. And first I'm going to create, this was the requirement. How many requirement that we have? Total 4 requirement do have, and all the things will be installed in OS type Ubuntu, sir. I'm going to use 20.4 LTS for that. Okay, and I'm going to use the cloud AWS in order to create this applications. Okay, or in order to create this infrastructure. Okay, so just follow the steps. I'm going to give you them certain commands. So I'll be running, first I will create the AWS account. Second, post installing, logging into Ubuntu machine. Okay, and third, what exactly we are going to do? Third, I'm going to run some certain command. Run some certain command like Nginx. Okay, and then MySQL, then PHP, and then WordPress. Okay, so these are the things that we are going to install in our Ubuntu machines. Okay, so just follow. I will share all these commands with you shortly, and you can find into the comment box or maybe in the description box. You'll find all those commands. Okay, let's jump into that. One second. Okay, let me log in into the AWS console. Launch instance. If you don't know how to do, you can refer to the YouTube, or I'm going to just do the simple stuff. So after logging into the AWS, then what you have to do, you can use your local system as well, and you can create your own VMs using some certain like VMware. like I'm using a VMware workstation here. Okay, so you can use any of them, via Oracle VirtualBox or anything like that. Okay, just for your instance, just for your understanding, just I'm using this one. Like you can use in this particular any of the operating system. As of now, I have Parrot. Okay, I'll do that part later and just let's sit down because I don't want to spend much time here. I just wanted to let you know like there's a different ways that you can do that. But I'm just taking the example of AWS so that because everybody has the access of free account, free tier account, so they can register and they can create the EC2 instance directly. Okay. Example, I'm using this as a, for example, stage server. You can give any name, XYZ. Okay. I'm using the Ubuntu machines and then okay, leave it as it is. Okay, I'm going to take 20.04 and for now I will just take 1 MB because this is just a demo lab. And then you can select or you can create your own private key. Let everything as it is, and there are a few ports that you have to open. Port that is required basically. Okay, so port is required like 3306, that is for the MySQL. Okay, and port number 22 to access Linux machine, access Linux machine, and port number 80 to access the website. Okay, we are going to use all these things. Okay, so allow HTTP traffic. Okay, I'll create allow SSS traffic. SSS traffic is nothing. I'll configure that part later as well. Okay, put it as a 10 GB in case if anything is required. Okay, launch instance. Let the system get ready. Okay, go to the exit instance and select, and then first we are going to configure the security group. So you can follow the steps as the way I'm going, and as I mentioned, like I will update the information in the description box so that you can check into that and uh, how exactly I have executed those commands in order to troubleshoot or in order to install something. Okay, so everything is documented properly. So I'll share with you. So first of all, we have to find the security group over here. VPC. Okay, it will come under security. Okay, this is the security group. Come here, and then if you'll come here, this is the inbound rule. Inbound rule nothing means it is the connection which is coming to the this server. Okay, the connection which is going out of the server, that is called outbound. Just for your information, and because we have two HTTP and SSH, because we have to update for the MySQL as well. Okay, so you can type MySQL, you'll get it, port number 3306. Anybody can, 00 means anybody can access. Okay, come back to the ICT instance and now select, click on sorry, connect, copy the IP address and then go to the terminal. You can use it from here as well. There are some issues. I need to enable something. Okay, anyway, I'm going to use the IP addresses directly. I'm going to select the public IP address. I've copied the public address. Whenever you will download, by default, the pem.file will be automatically come to the your download location. Okay, so my pem file is already here in the download location because already last time I have created and downloaded. So ssh hyphen I to log into the server. Ssh hyphen I. Ubuntu EC2 instance username will be always Ubuntu, not EC2. Okay, default one. Ubuntu at the rate and the IP address. And I have missed here the private key. What is the private key I have to mention? Okay, sorry. What is the private key I have to mention here? My private key name is, well, it will come automatically. Ubuntu at the rate. Okay. If you want to access your machine with the username and password, how you can do that, I'm just going to tell you right away in the screen. So first switch to the sudo su. Okay, become a super user, and then what you have to do, edit this file vi slash etc slash ssh slash ssh d underscore config. Okay, then hit a so that you can edit the file. What are the file you have to edit? I'm going to tell you. So permit root login. Okay, just give this access. Root can also log in, so put it as a yes. And then password authentication is yes. WQ. Okay, then what we have to do, we have to restart the services. So what is the command? You can use sudo. If you're non-user, you can use the sudo command. Okay, and for example sudo systemctl restart sshd. Okay, so that is how you can do. And you can, in case if you want to add the password, what you can do, then you have to add the password as well. Okay, the command is sudo user, sorry, sudo ubuntu passwd, because we want to create the password for the ubuntu user. Maybe so, because I have to run the command passwd. Array yaar. Sudo passwd and the username. What is the username? Ubuntu. We have to create the password for that. Okay, I'm creating the normal password. Person 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, and the thing is that in case, if you'll see here, now if you'll see here, I'm not putting any private key, I'm directly putting the username and password. Okay, ubuntu at the rate, if you'll see it is prompting for password, I can log in into the system with the help of username and password. This is the another way that you can do it. You can enable the username and password as well. Okay, I just told you so that you have some idea. In case next time if you're not having the private key or anything, yeah, directly you can log in into the machine with the help of username and password. And I showed you how exactly you can enable it. So let's start with the beginning. What exactly we are targeting? First we'll install the Nginx, then we are going to install the MySQL and PHP. So we have certain dependencies, so I'm going to tell you how exactly we have to do that, and we have come to some certain problem, so we'll fix that one as well. Okay, so run this command. Okay, so let me convert into the normal user, because I will be using the sudo command, because it creates some certain kind of problem, so that it creates some kind of confusion, like you're running the sudo command with the root user. So let's continue with the normal user, that is the ubuntu user, and we'll be powering that user to run some certain command. Okay, so just simple click update hyphen y. I just wanted to stop that. Sorry, I just wanted to, save the time. So that's the reason I'm copying pasting the password. I'll share those password with you. And then update means basically it will update the libraries and whatever utilities which is already installed with the operating system. If in case if it has an old version, it will update everything. Okay, so I'm upgrading as well. Now I'm going to install the Nginx. What is the command that I have to use? For the Ubuntu machine, you have to use the sudo apt install space Nginx. Okay, let it complete, then you'll come to know. The challenges that we are going to face here, like if you'll see here, uh, post installing everything, the problem what exactly it is going to happen is you'll not be able to load the WordPress site, or you'll be getting an 404 error, 403 error. Okay, so the reason is that how exactly Nginx will come to know that PHP has to be loaded when user is trying to load the application, because by default Nginx will load the index.html file, index.html file. Okay. Okay. It's taking a little time, so no worry. First of all, we are going to install the Nginx. So install the Nginx, we will be running the command sudo space apt space install space name of the software. What is that? Nginx. 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 Sorry. Let's run the command. Hyphen y means automatically it will not ask for prompt like should I install or not. Directly it will install. Then you want to check the status of the Nginx. See, it is up and running. Now what we have to install? What was the second requirement that we had? We have to install the MySQL. Okay, so command will be same sudo space apt space install space mysql hyphen server. That is the package name. And then same hyphen y. Then same thing, post installation, what we have to do? We have to check whether MySQL service are running or not. The reason I'm telling this WordPress playlist, because I'm going to use for DevOps practices, because it's easy to manage. Otherwise, if you're going for Java application, that you have to buy some third-party code, or free code doesn't look good. I mean, hello world. Anyway, just for the practice purpose, you can do that. But if you want to go through the, if you want to show it more realistic, so I would recommend just go with the real code so that you'll have an idea what needs to be done. Okay, as PHP has been installed, sorry, MySQL has been installed. Let's check the status. Okay, as you can see, MySQL is server is running. Okay, then what we have to do? We have to log into this MySQL database. Why? Because we have to create some certain user, some certain table, and we have to assign some certain permission. Just give me a second. Add a new pages, word not an issue. I'll put it here. My pages are not getting added. Oh, just allow me a second. Okay. Anyway, I'll check that part. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to add new page so that I can explain the scenario. So we have installed the MySQL. We've installed the MySQL, and if you go to the pan, select, that is fine. Okay. Now we have installed the MySQL. Okay. So let's we have to install the MySQL. Already we have installed the MySQL. So post installing the MySQL, basically you have to create some user, some databases, and password as well, and you have to give the privilege to that particular user so that it can be defined into the PHP code so that it can connect with the database in order to log in. That is why that is how it will be connecting, right? And after that we have to install one kind of PHP and MySQL connector so that PHP and MySQL connector both can communicate in order to send and receive the information, or in case if you want to alter any information. Okay, so basically we are going to already we have installed the MySQL, and then after we are going to create some certain user. Okay, just a second. What happened? Okay, creating user, creating user, and then creating database name. Third, providing privilege just to the user, and plus the privileges. Plus means basically will refresh the privileges. Privileges. Okay, and username generally just for the practice purpose. I'm going to create just a username, and then password will be only just password. And your MySQL endpoint will be localhost because it is already installed in same server. So whenever any software or anything get installed in the same software, it will be calling as a localhost endpoint. Okay, so let's do that. Where's the terminal? Okay, let's do that. First, we have to log in into the uh, MySQL database. How exactly you can log in into the MySQL server? You have to run the command sudo. Okay, session has been breached. Anyway, I'm going to use the session. Right, okay, we have already logged in. So I'm just, how exactly will be going to log in? Sudo, then MySQL, and then hyphen u. Hyphen is user representing the user. So what is user will be root by default, and hyphen p. P is representing for the password. Now you have logged into the MySQL. As you can see, MySQL terminal has been started. Now we are going to create some user, database name, and password as well. Okay, so let's create the table first. So in order to create the table, the command will be, the MySQL command will be create space database space WordPress. WordPress is nothing, database name. Okay, and we'll set the character, what kind of character or Unicode it is going to use. Just a second. Okay, so here WordPress is nothing, the database name, a database name. Okay, and character set, as you know that every system uses some special Unicode in order to support. So make sure, in case if you're using any supporting Unicode, make sure that you're using the one which supported by the MySQL or something. Okay, so that is the reason I'm telling. Okay, hit enter. It has created the table. Now we have to create the username and password. In order to create the username and password, is command will be create space user space user. Here I will put as a username, user name. Okay, at the rate localhost, identify with the password. What is the password? This will be the password, and username will be username. Okay, and hit enter. It got created. Username, then we are assigning the privilege, giving the privilege to that particular user. Okay, done. Now the thing is that we want to validate whether that user exists or not. So we are going to use the MySQL command show. Basically, it will show what are the privileges user that we have in MySQL database, which we have created just few minutes back. User, sorry. Uh-huh. Second. Okay. Grant our privilege on WordPress. Okay, that is fine. Username. And then yep, we just wanted to see what are the privileged users that we have. So as of now you can see user, admin, user, like, so if you want to see what kind of privileges that it is having or not, we just wanted to cross verify. So show grant space for space username at the rate localhost. Localhost is nothing, endpoint. Okay, as you can see, two privileges, sorry, username is having the privilege on WordPress database. Okay, and this, and as of now we know that we don't have any other username, sorry, we don't have any other database name. Okay, and in case if you want to check what are the username, what are the users that we have, existing users that we have, or manual users that we have created, you have to use the command select user host space from MySQL dot user. It will show what are the user, what are the users. So these are the default user, and which is the user we have created. We have created this user with the command. Okay, create user command, that already create space user, this is the user we have created, and also we have created the password at the same time. Okay, and in case if you want to show what are the databases that you have in the MySQL system, you will be using the command show databases, so you'll come to know. Okay, as you can see, this is the WordPress manually that this database we have created. So why we have done the validation, so make sure like we did not get any error. Yeah, now everything is done. I mean, whatever activity which was supposed to be done from the MySQL side already we have done. Now we have to exit from the MySQL terminal. Command will be exit and colon. Now you are back to the original terminal. Okay, and now we have to install the PHP. Okay, in order to install the PHP, the command will be sudo space apt space install php hyphen appm. In case by default it will install the 7.4 version PHP version. In case if you want to upgrade, you can upgrade with the certain commands. Okay, hyphen y. Like for example, if you have installed and you don't know what kind of PHP version that it is installed in your system, so you can verify with the command with the command, because all the modules which is getting installed in the system, it is stored the information inside the etc folder, that is nothing init dot d, and we can filter out the PHP string so that we can find what is the PHP version that it has installed. So as I mentioned, like what is the command that you can use? You can use the ls slash etc slash init dot d, and I'm going to grep so that I can find the PHP version. What are the PHP version that we have? As you can see, PHP 7.4 we have installed. Okay, and as you know that we have already installed the PHP version, and make sure that PHP is, what is the status of PHP post module installation. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to use the sudo command sudo systemctl command is nothing to check the status of the services. Okay, whether you want to stop, whether you want to restart, or whether you want to check the status, so you can use the systemctl command. Just give me a second, guys. Sudo systemctl status, and then the name of the version. Then as you can see, it has installed and active and running the services. So if you want to escape, if you want to come out from this window where we have stuck inside this because it is checking the services, so simply you have to use the q command from the keyboard. Okay, now we have to install as well PHP MySQL connector, which I forgot to mention in the notes. But yeah, so I'll share the notes, notepad, or everything, all the certain commands are there. So we have to install some certain connector. What connector? PHP MySQL connector, so that PHP code can interact with the database. Okay, so that's the reason we are going to install. In case if you are using the Java, yes, you are going to install some, you know, for example, Java and MySQL. So Java and MySQL connector that has to be installed, whether it is Windows Server or whether it is Linux machine, whether it is Python. If you're using for the Python, then you have to use some kind of connector. Sorry guys for the interruption. Yes, what we are going to use, we are going to install the connector. Okay, so like I have mentioned already, different type of connector that you can use for based on the requirement. As of now we are using the PHP and MySQL, so I'm using the PHP and MySQL connector. So other programming languages has their own connector, so based on the requirement that you can use, whether it is Windows or whether it is Linux or some other operating systems. Okay, sudo apt hyphen get install php my sorry php MySQL. Yes, we want to install this connector. So I want to rephrase. As of now, what we have installed? We have installed the Nginx, we have installed the MySQL, and we have done the configuration for the MySQL database user and assign the certain privilege so that it can code can interact with the MySQL database in order to create or edit the user or any other information. Okay, and then we are creating the PHP MySQL connector so that when WordPress will be installed, I will update this connection string, a username, database's name, and password. It will get inside the code. Okay, the connection string. Basically, we are calling it as a connection string. Okay. Okay, PHP MySQL connector has been installed. Now, what we have to do, we are going to download the WordPress. Okay. So in order to download the WordPress, what I'm going to do for your understanding, I'm going to create some certain folder where I will be downloading the code so that what will happen is you can keep, you will have an idea like where exactly this code has residing. Otherwise, by default, Nginx has a default folder is nothing slash where slash www slash html. This is a default folder of the Nginx web server. Okay. But inside that, what I'm going to do, I'm going to create one folder example.com so that you will come to know, okay, this is our content where we have installed our content. Okay, so I'm just in order to save the time, I'm just pasting the command. Okay, so sudo is nothing, it's a privileges, so power it is giving to the Ubuntu user so that it can create mkdir means, just a second guys. Okay, so that it can have certain privileges, right? And mkdir is nothing, in order to create the folder, hyphen p means basically it will be creating the folder inside the folder. Okay, basically suppose if you want to create some certain folder inside the multiple folder, you have to use my hyphen p command so that uh, recursively means, it will go inside the folder and folder, then at the particular location it will create the folder name example.com which has already created. If you want to check it out, if you want to check it out, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this command, sorry, this particular location, and I will do this ls so that you will come to know example.com has been created. This is the default pages of the Nginx. Suppose for example, if I'll get back into the I get back into the IP address, right? Because by default it is running on port number 80. So if you'll say a default Nginx page will come here, where exactly it is coming from? It is coming from this particular page. Okay, but if we'll hit here example.com, you'll get a 403 error because there is no content at all as of now. See, 403 403 error, that means basically it is stating that there is no content. Okay, 403 means there is no content at all. I can do, and I can create the content as well here. If I'll Okay, sorry, if I'll get inside this server, okay, cd ls, there is no file. Okay, I have to use the sudo ls. Uh, okay, actually I had to go inside this folder, sudo ls. As you can see here, there is no file. Okay, nothing is there. In case if I want to create the index.html file, then only you'll be able to see the content. Just for the proof your understanding, I'm just going to create one file, sudo vi index.html. I'm just writing, hello user, this is my test page. Okay, I'm just coming out, and here you will be able to see the pages. See, hello user, this is my test page. I hope you understood what exactly I was trying to say. As of now, you are saying, like we are able to only load the .html file, the picture. Okay, so the scenario will come where you'll not be able to load the index.php file. The reason I will tell you why exactly it is happening. Okay, the reason it is happening. One second, why exactly it is giving the cross mark? The reason it is happening because of this particular thing, particular settings which is having inside the system. Just give me a second. Okay, this is the location where it is configuration is defined. If I'll do cat hyphen n, if you'll see here, root folder is Nginx where www.html. You can update the root folder as well based on the requirement, and you can also change the port number. Suppose if you want to load your website in some other port 443 as well, okay, you can use it. As of now, you can see it's a commented out. Okay, so just leave it as of now because we are testing with the just general application which will run with the HTTP and IP addresses. How to bind the how to bind the domain with the IP address, I will tell you in the next lecture. So just for the understanding purpose, I showed you this document where you can see here index.html, 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 blah 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 blah. Right? It will not load index.php file. The reason is because we haven't defined here what kind of load it is going to load. Only index, these are the files which is going to support it in order to load into the Nginx server. Okay. I hope you have understood that part. Okay. Now, what exactly we are going to do? We are going to download what? We are going to download WordPress. Okay. So just for the reminder, I told you we have installed the Nginx, we have installed the MySQL, done the configuration, and then we have also installed PHP and DB connector. PHP and MySQL connector, and we have created one folder where we are going to put our CMS software is nothing WordPress. Okay. So in order to install, already I've written the command. You can directly use the command in order to save the time. I'm just using them. Okay, as you can see, content are being downloaded from the WordPress organization. Sorry, WordPress.org. You can download your latest version as well, but you have to define the value over here. You can go to the website and you can copy the link and you can run the same command sudo. And if you'll come here, see one compressed file is downloaded which is having the which is having the WordPress CMS software. For time being, I'm just removing this file. Okay, so that you can understand what exactly I'm trying to say. Yes. Okay, I have to be sudo user rm hyphen rf index remove. See, file has been removed. Now inside this compressed folder there are content, so I just want to retrieve the content from this folder. So what I can do, I can use a command, tar command, that I'm going to use. Okay, there is a Linux playlist that you can follow in order to learn more about the Linux, because I'm just teaching them in a very depth way, and so that you can utilize in a script and all, and for any automation purpose, just for this WordPress. So that's the reason I'm just explaining this one. Okay, you'll be using the tar command. Okay. Okay, if you'll see here, there is one folder called created automatically. Okay, so what exactly you have to do, because our content is inside the WordPress folder. If you'll see here, see, these are our content, WordPress content CMS software. Okay, to update the connection string that we have to use rwp hyphen config dot php that we are going to use. Okay, as it's a sample one, so I'm going to use our one. I will create one more file. I will copy this file and I will rename it as a wp hyphen config hyphen dot php, not sample one. Okay, and because we want to put our content inside the example.com, so what I'm going to do is, you can see all the content. I'm going to use the command sudo sorry sudo cp hyphen r. Okay, star means all, to which location, to where www slash html slash example.com. Now if you'll come here, because we have copied the content, so what is the directory that you are able to see? This is the example.com, and where exactly we have copied? In the same directory we have copied the content, as you are able to see that one. Okay. Now Now the thing is that if you come here ls hyphen l, okay, one second, one step back, ls hyphen lh. If you'll see here, sorry, we have to go into the example.com. If you'll see here ls hyphen l, let's check the file. As you can see, this particular file is owned by this particular username and group. So what you can do in that scenario, you can assign this, because this Nginx user data, sorry, Nginx, the user which is managing all this particular file, which will give the access and everything, what exactly it is going to use? It is going to use the www hyphen data user and group. Okay, www hyphen data user and group it is going to use. So user www hyphen data means user, and www hyphen data also group that it is going to use. And I just want to give the full permission so that anybody easily it can access the application. To update that permission, ch sudo chmod 755, okay, star, okay, ls hyphen l. If you see here, I have given the full permission just for your basic understanding. Okay, now what exactly I'm going to do, I'm going to uh, give the permission. As you can see here, you root is the user and root is the group. So in that scenario, what exactly I'm going to do is, I'm going to assign, I'm going to remove root, I'm going to remove the root user, I'm going to remove the root group, and instead of that, what exactly I'm going to do, I'm going to assign www hyphen data. Understood? Okay, sudo chown means basically we are updating the ownership, hyphen r means recursively to all files and folders, hyphen r www hyphen data colon. Why exactly we are doing that? Because this is the user and group which is going to manage the application's content. Application content is nothing, this is the .php file or whatever files that you are seeing, that particular files are going to manage through by www hyphen data user and www hyphen data user. Do not get confused, username and group can be same. www hyphen data, and which for file exactly we are going to do that, we are going to www, okay, mm, which one was that, sorry, html example dot com. Okay, done. If you'll see here, user, this is the user and this is the group has been updated, and all the specific permission what were the required permission was needed, I have updated already over here. Now what we have to do, we have to update the configuration, we have to update the connection string basically, so that when you want to pull the website, okay, it should automatically connect to the WordPress in order to install the WordPress CMS software, and whatever databases or tables or columns are required, it will create automatically. Okay, so what exactly we need to do, we need to update this file. If we'll do ll, I'm going to update this file. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to make a copy of this file, cp paste. Okay, and what exactly I'm going to copy, I'll put it as a .php file. Okay, sudo ls, done. If you'll see here, now we have one wp-config.php file. Okay, and I'm going to update the connection string over here. How to update the connection string? Sudo vi, and the file name, what is the file name that we have to update? This is the file name that we have to update here. Okay, database, what is the database we have created? We have created the database and name is caps w, word in small letter, and press. This is the database we have created. If you'll see the query, you'll come to know. And username I have given as a username for your understanding purpose. Password is, I have given the password as a password. And endpoint connection string name is, what is the connection string? I told you because we have installed the MySQL inside the Ubuntu itself, so that's the reason it will be showing as a localhost. Okay, come out and WQ and save. That's it. Okay, done. This part, connection string part, is completed. Now what we have to do, we have to update some configuration. We have to create the configuration for the WordPress. So what exactly we are going to do, we are going to create one file and we are going to update this content, this configuration, so that it can understand what needs to be done. Okay, I'll give in the notes, so don't worry. I'm creating one configuration file here for example.com. Okay, you might be thinking like, why exactly I'm creating example.com. You can create any name, xyz.com, your name as well, anything you can put it. Okay, it's not mandatory like you have to put example.com, you can put anyway. Okay, so as you can see, Nginx, inside the Nginx conf.d there is a folder, and inside that we are creating one configuration file. Okay, and the code which you need to update here, I'll share it on the notes. Okay, done. I just want to check whether I have updated the wrong correct command or not. Copy. Okay, press A to insert the code. Done. WQ. Okay, now if you want to check whether you have update, whether there is a syntax error or anything for this example.conf.com.conf file, what you can do, you can run the command sudo ng sudo nginx, right? Nginx hyphen t. Basically it will check the syntax. Okay, so everything is look fine, so no need to worry about that. Okay, if there is any syntax error, it will show directly. Okay, and now we'll restart the Nginx and try to check if we are able to load the WordPress application or not. We'll restart the application and we come here. Let's load. It is giving as a 403 error. That means it is not able to, because previously we have seen it is able to load the index.html file. As of now, we have removed the index.html file in the example folder. So that's the reason. As of now, it is not able to read any other file. So what we have to do in order to update PHP, so that in order to update the Nginx configuration so that it can load the .php file, so what we have to do, we have to follow some certain troubleshooting. So we have to edit this file. I'll update every command over here. So okay, we have to update this file here and sudo etc nginx site available default. Okay, so I'm going to edit this file so that it can load, Nginx can load the PHP file as well. Okay, so one piece of code that you have to insert here, get into the insert mode and remove this location, add your configuration here. Okay, make it perfect so that it looks good. It doesn't happen, I mean it will not happen anything if you don't do anything like that, but just for the, you know. Okay, and you can see here index.html file is also missing. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to add index.php file as well. There are different way to fix that issue, but this is one of them. Okay, now what we have to, save this file, WQ, and hit enter. This was the basically troubleshooting part. Now we'll restart the Nginx and try to load the, and what we're gonna do, try to load the application. See, it is loading now. Okay, what you have to do, select English, continue, and site name Minj Bytes. Okay, username Minj Bytes, and password. I'm just going to use my own password, like M capital, just for understanding purpose. You can put any password, it's not a restriction. 1 2 3 Minj Bytes. Okay, Minj Bytes test 1 2 3 MINJBYTES 1 2 3. Your email Minj. I can type anything. DevOps Minj @ gmail.com. It's a dummy email, and then install the WordPress. Okay, WordPress has been installed. Inch bytes and password already I have copied, and you will see the beautiful interface will come into your in front of your system. Okay, the thing is that there is another problem that it is going to come, so I will record in the different lecture. What will happen if IP will get changed? So the problem is that, suppose if you reboot your system because you are not having the elastic IP, this is not going to change. So what will happen in that scenario? Okay, you'll not be able to load the application. Okay, so for that, what exactly we can do? We need to update this one, because interface will not be available, so you have to log in into the database and then you have to update it. Just a second. Okay, so this part is completed. WordPress installation, everything is completed. And in case if you want to visit the website, so what you can do, if you go to the same, just copy the IP address. In the upcoming lecture, I will install MySQL in the different and PHP admin I will be installing, so that what will happen is you will be able to log in into my PHP admin, not with the terminal. You can have a graphical console so that you can manage your databases. Okay, sorry, it should be example.com. Okay, so this is how your website will look like in that scenario. If you check in the private window, so this is how exactly it will look like. The name I have given. So pretty simple, easy website you can create it. Okay, now the troubleshooting part is, for example, if I'll reboot the system, what exactly I'm going to do? I'm going to stop the instance and see what is going to happen. I'll let it stop. Okay, I'm starting the machine. So as you can see, IP address will be changed, and I have disconnected from the terminal. As you can see, I got the new IP address. It's going to take a little time, so let me pause the video. So let's check machine is ready or not. Okay, machine is ready right now. What exactly I'm going to do? I'm going to load the website with this IP address because IP address has been changed. So I'm just loading with a different IP address. Okay, application is loading right now. Okay, but what is going to happen here is if I load the WordPress, right? wp-admin, the admin console where you can manage your website, it is not going to load. See, it is redirecting to, see, our IP address is 159, but it is redirecting to old IP address. Old IP address means before rebooting the machine, it has this IP address. But how exactly we can troubleshoot this one in that scenario? In order to fix, what you have to do, you have to log in into the same server. Okay, and see, this was the IP address previously. We are not able to access WP admin because we need to update the database. Just give me a second. Problem is it is redirected to the old IP address which you don't want, right? Otherwise it will not be able to load the. Okay, I'm putting the wrong IP address over here, so that's the reason it is giving an error. What is the correct IP address? The correct IP address is 159. That was the old IP address. Okay, get done. Now what we have to do, I will become the power user sudo su, and in order to verify what is the, because WordPress is having the two sites, home URL and site URL, and which is updated in the databases. So in order to check them, in order to validate what kind of uh, home URL and site URL is there, so what you can do, you can just directly type MySQL hyphen u, but default user is root, and hyphen p, because we haven't set the password, so you can directly log in. And in order to check in the table, so what exactly you're gonna use WordPress. We are going to use the database name, use WordPress semicolon, and hit enter. Okay, in order to save the time, what exactly I'm going to use, I'm going to check what is the current site URL in the database and what is the. Okay, so this is the MySQL command so that you can validate what is the. Okay, as you can see, it is showing the old IP address. If you'll go for the home URL, it will be showing different. It should not be home URL, it should be only home, I believe. Okay, as you can see, it has an old IP address, but current IP address, what is the current IP address we have? 159. So what exactly I'm going to do? I'm going to update this one. So directly I'm going to use the command in order to update. You can see use WordPress, use the database and update which table that you want to update. Under WP option, okay, under WP option column, that there is a value HTTP3. This is the IP address we have to update, where option name is equal to site URL. Okay, and where option name is equal to home, because we have to update the home URL and site URL both. Done, completed. Okay, now what we have to do, we have to just restart the Nginx. Sorry, exit. We have to run in normal terminal, so I'm going to restart the Nginx and going to restart the PHP. MySQL no need to do anything because we haven't made any certain changes. So if you go here, you will be able to log in into the WordPress. See, I've given as a just I'll type it here, wp-admin. Mhm. Second, load me the correct. The problem is example.com. We have to do that actually. Okay, so it is still not updated. It seems like we have committed some mistake. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to update once again. Okay, I believe we have committed one mistake over here because our website name is IP address slash example.com. Okay, so that's the reason I have done one mistake over here. Okay, so what we have to do, this is the command. First I have to use WordPress. So this is the command I have to use. Okay, update. So what we have to do here, we have to write example. Okay, example.com. What is that? It is a home URL. Okay, update it, and we have to update for site URL, the same command. Just we have to change this value, site URL. Done, and let's try to load the application. It is coming, right? Issue has been fixed because we have updated the correct URL. Okay, so if I log in, Minch bytes, and password is Minch bytes %123, I believe. Minch bytes 123. See, now I can log in. So this is how exactly you can do the installation, and I have actually included the troubleshooting part so that you can understand what needs to be done in what cases. In case if you are not having PHP admin to address the issue, or in order to update the configuration of database using the terminal, I have given you the command as well. Okay, I will update this command in the description, all the command which I have written, so that you have a better idea and you will be able to do it yourself. Okay, thank you.